It is time to talk some more NFL football. We have another recap week of a crazy week 4 around the NFL. But before that, we actually have some basketball to talk about for the first time since God knows when. So do us a favor, kick back, relax, because it's Monday evening and 609 Sports Talk starts right now. Welcome in, everybody, back to another edition of 609 Sports Talk live here on Facebook and, of course, on YouTube. We are coming to you guys live from Hamilton, New Jersey. Of course, this is a show where fans are united and debate is ignited. And as always, we are your hosts, Sam Nelson, the Prince of Red October, and the man, the myth, the legend known as Mr. Kyler Adams. Mr. Adams, happy Monday.
Happy Monday.
How are we doing on this beautiful day, actually?
It's a nice day. Woke up to some sad news earlier.
Of course. We're reading some bipolar weather. I mean, it was like a little nippy in the morning. It's like 80 degrees when I leave work at 2 o'clock. Make your mind up.
Yep.
This is the time of year where if you work outside, you don't know how to dress.
Exactly.
But once again, we have a jam-packed show for you guys. We'll recap NFL Week 4 a little bit later in the show because we actually have some basketball to talk about. We'll talk college football. Another exciting week. I can't praise enough how much college football is doing better with the new layout of how they're doing stuff with no divisions and the schedule and the playoff format. It is more competitive, and it is more fun to watch now. It's not just the same games every year how it used to be. It's exciting. I can't say that. I'm going to say that every week till the season's over. But we'll get to that later on in the show. But we have some basketball to talk about. We have some breaking news that happened over the weekend. But unfortunately, we have to start this show on a very somber note. For anyone who doesn't know, we found out this morning that former Hawk, Nuggets, 76ers center Dikembe Mutombo passed away at the age of 58. Dikembe was battling brain cancer, which is ultimately a fight that he unfortunately lost. Dikembe was known to be one of the greatest defensive big men, if not the most greatest defensive big man in the entire sport of basketball. But it was what he did off the court, which was so much more than what he did on the court. Dikembe, of course, 8-time All-Star, 4-time Defensive Player of the Year, I believe he led the league in block shots 3 times. Mm-hmm. And rebounding twice. If not, it's the other way around. Of course, he was known as one of the greatest defensive big men for the Nuggets and Hawks. Then he, of course, helped the 76ers reach the finals in 2001. He was probably the only other NBA-capable player on that Sixers team, not known as more than Allen Iverson. But we just wanted to take a moment. Our thoughts and prayers are with Dikembe and his family during these very tragic and sad times. Mr. Adams, do you have any words you would like to say before we?
He summed it up well. I mean, being a great player doesn't begin to describe him. He was just an overall great human being, and it's a sad loss for his family and for anyone that knew him.
It is a very sour day in the world of basketball. It's not a very good day for us. We're losing too many greats, man. Too many good people.
Yep.
This is not fun. This is getting really bad. But in other news, let's try to move on into the rest of our show. Rest in peace to Dikembe. And before we start, Tyler, I think we have to do it. No, not today.
Not today.
But in tribute to Mr. Mutombo, we have another one of his former teams, the New York Knicks, making a humongous trade over the weekend. The Knicks have acquired Karl-Anthony Towns from the Minnesota Timberwolves for a package of a first-round pick, which I believe the Knicks had acquired from the Pistons, Dante DiVincenzo, also known as the Big Ragu, and Julius Randle. Tyler, does the acquisition of Karl-Anthony Towns put the Knicks head-to-head with the Celtics for the East?
So, this move is a big shakeup for both teams. Both teams were kind of stuck in a limbo, sort of say. The Wolves last year had one of their better seasons, their best season, you can say, with what they've put together over there. With Edwards, Towns, Gobert. But when you look at New York was kind of just treading water in the same scenario. And the once face of the team in Julius Randle kind of took a backseat spotlight to, oh my gosh, why am I drawing a blank?
On who? What are you blanking on?
The Knicks point guard. Why can't I not think of his name right now?
Jalen Brunson?
Jalen Brunson.
Jalen
Brunson. I don't know, man. We haven't talked basketball in so long. I know the face, couldn't think of the name. But Jalen Brunson, he took over that team. He's the face of that team. The city loves him. So with a shakeup like this, I don't know if they're going to see immediate success. What Cat was doing there with the Timberwolves, he was building something. And they were building around him, and they were finally finding success. So I know it hurts him that he ends up getting traded out of there, which he didn't request at all. Just want to throw that out there. He did not request a trade. This was just the ownership made a bold decision to make a move that they thought was going to be fitting and right. Now, maybe this will help as Julius Randle does kind of play a different style as a power forward. Maybe this will help him and Gobert mesh more rather than, I thought that Towns and Gobert, they kind of clashed with each other.
I personally, and I'll let you continue. I want to throw this out there first. I'll give my full thoughts. I want to let you go more ahead into this. I never thought the Towns and Gobert fit made sense at all.
No, I don't think it did. It was always confusing to me. What's up, Dennis? We know you're here.
What's up, Dennis?
Lurking just like Reed Blankenship on those game-winning interceptions.
Don't forget all our fans. Go check out Dennis and the 302 Birds over there. He has a fancy football show every weekend. Great show.
I'm going to get him riled up already.
Yeah. Go rile him up.
Back to our...
Oh, yeah.
Comment. Mets fan.
Nick's happy. Go Mets. Yep, Nick. Mets are in. They got him. They won the first game of the doubleheader. They're in the playoffs. And now, Nick, do us a favor. Can you take Nick, let's be real. I'm sure you can see by the shirt who my team is. Let's have a kumbaya moment. Let's ask the Chop for the year. Let's send the Chop home. Send them back. Let the Diamondbacks in. Because I know the Diamondbacks last year. But also, real quickly as well for Nick, welcome to the show. Thank you for commenting in. Another new commenter. Appreciate you. And welcome to 609. Hope you enjoy the show. I like Nick already. Mets fan, but I love him. All right, Dennis. To be fair, like 4 other players did this. Jalen Carter did it. Cam Jurgens did it. It was 119 degrees.
Yeah, it's kind of odd. I mean, it is Florida, but, normal for Florida weather.
Well, Nick, we always appreciate it. If you have been around, apologies. We were gone for a while. We've get back into the swing of everything. I got to remember all the great fans we have. Nick,
Right.
you're a real one.
Thank you for
Another
tuning
real
in to
one.
us.
Speaking of real one, Tony is in the house, and I'm fired up.
House.
Is Cat better than Embiid? No.
No. Is he healthier than Embiid? Probably.
I'm healthier than Joel Embiid. I mean, come on. Even though, don't look at me like that. I will say this: they had media day today. Apparently, he dropped 30 pounds.
Really? I feel like I hear that every year.
Yeah, me too. Real quick, Nick said, I think Lindor should have the legitimate lead at MVP. I think his 50-50 is inflating this year. Nick, to be fair, I agree. Here's the thing with, and I know I did a whole baseball show last night, but I have no issue talking to baseball. Let me just give my opinion on Francisco Lindor's MVP case. I cannot pick a guy. Now, Tyler, I know you're not the big baseball guy, but I think you even could agree with me. I cannot pick a guy to win MVP who doesn't play in the field.
Yeah, that's true.
It's easy with all, and here's the thing with Ohtani. He hasn't even pitched this year either. It's easy to win an MVP award when you only have to focus on hitting. First of all, I don't care about 50 home runs and 50 stolen bases. Shohei Ohtani is having like the third best season in baseball this year. There's two guys in New York. Sorry, Nick. There's two guys in New York, Juan Soto and Aaron Judge, that are having better seasons than him. I don't care what the numbers tell you. Juan Soto and Aaron Judge are having better seasons than him. Jose Ramirez in Cleveland is just having as good of a season as him. And
That's
Lindor, okay, does Lindor have the RBIs? No, he's hitting leadoff. But you know what? 30 homers, almost over 80 RBIs, almost 30 steals, and plays a Gold Glove shortstop and has propelled this Mets team into the postseason. Oh, my God. Real quickly, back to these comments that it's effing football.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost like when Dolphins fans have to watch their team go and play in Buffalo in the wintertime. They know what's going to happen.
They get an IV, drink some water, go back out.
These guys are living in Philadelphia, man. They don't see 119 degrees. If they get bad luck during training camp, they're seeing like a 90-degree day, maybe 100 with humidity. They ain't going out there in a regular season game in that hotness. They were not prepared for it.
Like said, Joel's down, waiting, feeling good. He said it today. I hope he is, but I've heard he's in the best of his life for 5 straight years.
Yeah, I feel like I've heard that for the last like 4 or 5 years.
Oh, and Nick, I'm just saying, Shohei's had a great season, but the guy didn't hit like 75 homers. He hit 50 home runs and stole 50 bases.
So
and then Nick,
go ahead.
He also said that Lindor may win another Gold Glove. No, Nick, he will win another Gold Glove. He's had a great year at the plate. He's been amazing. He has been the catalyst for that Mets team. Tony said Ohtani won the MVP in April. That's cute. Nothing matters in April, big guy. Yeah. Phillies didn't take over first place till May. So it's the Braves if April matters.
Mm-hmm.
He also said that J-Ram is crazy underrated, Nick said. We'll see, Nick, and you may... Nick, I'm not sure. Here's my personal opinion when it comes to the MVP award in baseball. It doesn't go to the most valuable player on a team. It goes to the most popular, which is basically how every sport is. The NFL is the same way.
Yeah.
The most valuable player in the NFL last year was Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah.
But Christian McCaffrey didn't win the MVP.
Mm-hmm. They gave it to Lamar because Patrick Mahomes had a average regular season.
Exactly my point.
But speaking of media days, do you know how Jimmy Butler showed up this year?
Do I want to know how Jimmy Butler showed up this year? What's our hair look like this year?
You know what his hair looked like this year? He didn't look like Whoopi Goldberg.
Oh, good Lord.
He didn't look like Emu punk rock fan. He had normal cornrows. He showed up as normal Jimmy Butler.
Good heavens.
So all I can take that as is I hope that he's fired up and he's disappointed on how last season ended, and I hope that he stays healthy enough to put the league on notice again. But he's getting up there in age, There's not too many seasons where he can continue that level of dominance on the court. His knees have already shown that they're deteriorating on him, so
again,
here goes.
I wish Miami would still try to find another star player to put next to him.
I wish so too. I couldn't believe the Dame thing didn't go through last year. They just had to ask for Bam. You ain't getting Bam.
They had to ask for Bam, right? How dare you ask for Bam?
We would have gave up Hero. We were fine with that. And honestly, I'm fine with that too. Hero has just been the same player for like the last 3 years. He hasn't broke out at all.
Nick, you will never have to get a Jolly Roger tattoo as long as the Pirates ownership is in place. They ain't winning nothing. I'm sorry, you had to get it where?
Oh, man. It's a good thing you won that bet.
It's a good thing that the Pirates don't believe in winning, Nick. It's a good thing for you.
Oh, man. Tony, maybe next year's media day, that's what he'll show up as, Morgan Freeman.
Morgan Freeman. This is Jimmy Bucket.
It's Himmy. Himmy Butler.
Himmy? Are you kidding me? But anyway, let's bounce back over to the Knicks for a minute here. First of all, I don't know how Minnesota got what they thought that was the best package you could get.
Oh, why wasn't it Gobert instead?
Personally,
why not? Where did they see? I don't know. They're really taking a risk here. They must have seen something where they thought Julius Randle was a better fit on that team with Ann Edwards and Rudy Gobert than Karl Anthony Towns. Because if we're looking realistically, I don't think you're getting Julius Randle for Rudy Gobert. He's not on the same level at all. Not even close. But I don't know. I don't know what they're seeing.
Who's not on whose level?
Oh, Gobert's not on Cat's level.
Offensively, no. But the problem. But see, here's the problem. Cat's not on Gobert's level defensively.
That is true.
Once again, I don't know what the Timberwolves thought they were trying to do. Were they trying to set the game back 25 years and go with two traditional bigs? Good luck, teams. And what happened? In the playoffs, teams ran circles around that because they're too big. Now, I like this for both teams in terms of fit. However, I don't know how Cat fits with a Tom Thibodeau run team. We've already seen this once. Cat is not necessarily the rim protector that people think he is.
No, he's not.
Now,
he's an offensive player. It's just what it is.
Now, don't get me wrong. The Knicks needed a big body because of losing Isaiah Hartenstein, which no one is talking about how big of a loss that is for them. And Oklahoma City, Chet Holmgren's life just got a lot easier.
Oh, yeah.
That Oklahoma City team's going to be really good again.
I think they're going to compete even more this year in the playoffs.
Tony. We are not going to become the Philadelphia Eagles where all the local guys come back, okay? But don't deflect me with the big ragu. I love the big ragu.
I'll take him.
I love it. Get out of here. You already got him. His name's Tyler Hero.
I want a guy who can play defense, too.
Here's the thing. First of all, this is a better fit, in my opinion, for Cat than it is the Knicks. Because if I'm Cat, I'm a big man. I want to score in the low post. I want to score. I can score from both spots. I can score from outside. I can score from the freaking in the post, on the block. I can score anywhere on the court, right?
Yeah.
So when you want that, what do you want? You want wing players and guards who play very good defense and shoot well from the perimeter. Well, I mean, Josh Hart, Jalen Brunson, OG Anunoby, Mikal Bridges. It doesn't get any better than that.
So now the only other question is, we saw Julius Randle's numbers go down when Brunson came in. Is the same thing going to happen to Cat?
Cat's way more of a Cat. No, you know why? Because Cat knows what he is offensively. Julius Randle thinks he's something and he's not.
Yeah, fadeaway 3-pointers.
Oh my God. But also that's the other point. Cat can play off ball. Randle cannot. If that's just what I meant. Like Brunson likes to operate in that low mid range at the basket type. He can shoot. Don't get me wrong, but he likes to operate in the mid range area. They can put Cat in the corner or at the top of the arc and say, "Hey, space the floor." Something last year they really couldn't do it. And I'm not knocking it, but Hartenstein can't shoot, and Mr. Robinson has the offensive game of a peanut. So
Mitchell Robinson's just a really good defender.
When he's healthy.
And rebounder when he's healthy.
Exactly. So this is a good fit for the Knicks offensively. Now, I don't know how it fits them defensively because Hartenstein did a lot of little things on the defensive end that no one talks about. And Thibodeau likes that kind of stuff. So I don't know how that fit's going to turn out. I think Cat's going to make them better. I almost want to compare it to Porzingis going to the Celtics last year. I didn't see the fit early. And honestly, I think this is a way to combat that because the Celtics beat them because they were bigger.
Yeah.
They need a big body, and Cat's a good one. If they were looking for, and I always compare this with Thibodeau because remember the Bulls teams that Thibodeau had? He had Joakim Noah in the middle of that defense every year, locking down everybody. So Gobert probably made more sense for them defensively, but he wouldn't make sense offensively because Gobert has no offensive game whatsoever.
Then you're taking a hit on your scoring ability if you go with Gobert.
Exactly. Cat, now look, Cat's not dog shit defensively. He's not. But he is capable. He is a guy, though, that needs good defenders around him. And that's the good thing. All the Knicks have is great defenders around him. Mikal Bridges and OG Anunoby are probably two of the best wing defenders in the league.
Oh, yeah.
And then Josh Hart, another one who can defend. And he's one of the best rebounding guard wing players in the league. And Jalen Brunson, all he does is defend. So I like this better for Cat than I do the Knicks. I still think it's going to work because the Knicks need some type of inside presence, and Cat gives them both. He can score on the block, in the post, on the outside, mid range. He can get it done.
Yeah, that's the other thing you're talking about with the Knicks. Randall he would operate the mid range most of the time. He wasn't really, in your face, always posting up on the low block.
He's such an over dribbler. I hate it. I don't like Randall's game at all.
Yeah, well, hopefully they make it work for the T-Wolves. Because, man, the one thing I hope doesn't happen is that the T-Wolves just take a full 2 steps backwards.
I don't understand what we're doing here. Minnesota's one of the best teams in the West last year, weren't they?
Yeah.
What's Tony say here? Tony comments saying that the Knicks become the Sixers of last year with Cat and Brunson. They need a number 3 like the Sixers when they got George. Tony, the Knicks got Mikal Bridges.
Yeah.
Mikal Bridges. Anthony's in here saying, let's be real, nothing will change. The Knicks are going to go over to use they're going to overuse their players, making them play every single. Oh yeah.
At the end of the day, the Knicks are still going to be the Knicks. It's just the way it is. Do I see them winning the East? I still don't. Could they get there and compete in the Eastern Conference Finals? Maybe. But they'd have to go through teams like Boston, the Sixers, maybe Miami.
The Bucks are going to be healthy.
The Bucks healthy. So NBA season's going to be interesting.
Don't sleep on the Pacers.
Yeah, I was going to mention the Pacers too.
Magic.
Good young squad. The Magic still got some work to do. They got
Cavs
good young players.
healthy.
The Cavs healthy, yeah.
Well, I mean, Minnesota was literally a game away from the 1 seed. Last year, Oklahoma City and Denver were both 57 and 25. Minnesota was 56 and 26. I don't understand why they're getting rid of Karl Anthony Towns like that.
I don't know. It's either going to work out and nobody knows how, but the front office saw the vision, or it's going to crash and burn. They're going to be back where they were just 3 years ago. And it's just going to be a nightmare for them. And then the fans are just going to question every single thing, which rightfully so. You know, you trade away a staple of your team who stuck it out with you, didn't request a trade, never wanted out. He stayed. He believed in the team. He believed in what they could do. So, I don't know.
I mean,
it works out for the Timberwolves also. I really do.
This is, again, I don't know. Personally, I don't. I don't. I don't know if how much I like the whole situation with Cat being gone. I don't understand what they're doing. Personally, I don't know. Minnesota does not. They just kind of gutted their team by doing this.
They did.
Because I personally just don't know what they're doing. Because I like that Timberwolves team from last year.
Me too.
I really liked that team last year. Yeah, honestly, Anthony, they kept. I mean, I guess they're banking on their team defensively next year because offensively, I mean, the one thing I'll say, this is basically them giving the keys to the castle or the franchise to Anthony Edwards.
That's exactly what it is. Now there's no question that it's his team.
Yeah, like, I don't know personally how it's going to work out because, I mean, now they're looking like you're looking at a starting five. If this is what I think it's going to be, the starting five in Minnesota now is Dante DiVincenzo, Anthony Edwards, Randall, Gobert, and Mike Conley.
Yeah.
That doesn't screen top 3 seed in the West.
It doesn't.
Because who's your number 2? Randall? Good luck with that.
Yeah, Randall's not consistent enough. I mean, so Gobert's just going to get you like maybe 15 points and 10 rebounds every game.
Yeah, and he'll block shots. He'll play very good defense, but unless he's right under the basket, he is borderline useless offensively.
Yeah.
So, where do you have? Do you think the Knicks are as good now as the Celtics, or are they still behind them a little bit?
I still think they're behind. Just because.
Anthony, yes, it was. Yes, but Anthony, Karl Anthony Towns was the face of the team before Anthony Edwards even showed up. Yeah. By trading Anthony Edwards, you are giving full keys to Anthony Edwards, Karl Anthony Towns. Too many Anthony. I'm talking to Anthony about Karl Anthony and Anthony Edwards. There's too many Anthony. If Carmelo shows up, it's all over. But
so
if
I'm not continuing with you.
By trading Cat, you are saying to Anthony Edwards, this is your team. We believe you are the one to take us to the promised land. But the problem that we're missing now, who's the number 2 scoring option? Mike Conley?
Mm-hmm.
He's like 36.
Yep.
And Cat and Tyler, you'll probably agree. Cat is way more of an efficient offensive player than Julius Randle ever has been.
Oh, yeah.
But anyway, what were you going to say?
A potential Celtics starting roster is looking like Drew Holiday, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, and I'm guessing Horford and Porzingis, because they don't really have like a true good power forward. So I guess they would just rock with both of them.
Now Horford needs to retire. I'm sick of looking at him.
But he still produces, at least with the Celtics, he still produces. I know with the 76ers, you were not happy about that. He did not do anything. Oh, yeah. But with the Celtics, somehow they just get the best out of him still.
Imagine this real quick, right? You have one of the best efficient lineups the years before with Simmons, Covington, Saric, Embiid, and Redick. And you thought a starting five of Ben Simmons, Josh Richardson, Tobias Harris, Al Horford, and Joel Embiid, coached by Brett Brown, was going to win you something. Just think about that for a second. They thought that was going to win them a championship.
But, yeah, I mean, I still don't think the Knicks starting five matches up to Boston's.
I think Boston's wings are just too good.
Yeah.
As long as, look, what do we always say about the Patriots all those years? As long as 12 is there, it doesn't matter. As long as JB and JT are there, it don't matter.
Yeah. That's the biggest thing I said is you got to find a way to pay both of them. You can't break them up.
No.
The team's just not going to be as impactful without one or the other.
They have the potential to be a special, possibly a dynasty.
Yeah.
This is what I said about the Warriors. Why you let your championship culture guys go is beyond me. I don't understand. The fact that you let Klay Thompson walk out of the door. But, you know, did you hear what Draymond said? This started back a couple years ago when they won that last one. Because they paid Jordan Poole and them over them.
Yeah, that's true. They thought Jordan Poole was the future.
Yeah, they traded him the next year.
Mm-hmm.
He stinks.
There's no more pool parties.
No, they're never. Yeah. It was over the minute Draymond punched him in the face.
You took my contract. Boop.
Dude, that's exactly what. He forgot how to play basketball. He's had a concussion for 2 years. The NFL couldn't save that. But no, the Warriors, that's what I mean. When you have a championship caliber team, you don't get rid of the players that got you there. Look at the Eagles. Lane Johnson, still here. Fletcher Cox, retired an Eagle. Jason Kelsey, retired an Eagle. Brandon Graham, going to retire an Eagle.
Still has more sacks than Bryce Huff already.
Let's not talk about that right now. We're probably going to start arguing about the Eagles later in the show.
Oh, yeah. We probably are. We may have more things we agree on this time.
Maybe. Anthony, I don't know how you can sleep on the Thunder. Oh. They are an amazing young team.
I think the Thunder are more of a complete team than the Kings right now. The Kings got a real solid team, and I feel like the Thunder have advanced more than them.
Oh, well, dude, you got Jay, you got Chet Holmgren. Dude, they got a squad.
Yeah.
But if you look at the Kings, I mean, do you want me to read their roster off to you?
Yeah.
They got Sabonis.
Uh-huh.
They have their front court's not that good. They still have Malik Monk. They still have De'Aaron Fox. They have Kevin Huerter. They have DeMar DeRozan.
That's where DeMar went? That's where he ended up?
Wait, hold on. The Lakers are so cheap they won't give DeMar DeRozan a deal, but the Kings will. What am I watching? That honestly could be a solid get for the Kings. That could be another guy late in games on the perimeter. He's not a three-point shooter, but neither's De'Aaron Fox. De'Aaron Fox isn't a great three-point shooter either. But yeah. Fox, late in games, when Sabonis is not getting the ball on the block, he has struggled to fend off of double teams and not having a true guy to help him with ball handling situations. DeRozan can help with that.
True.
Yeah, I definitely think the Thunder are the more complete team, more than the Kings, easily. Kings got a lot of work to do still.
Yeah.
The West, but that's the point. If this was the Eastern Conference, the Kings may be the 5th seed.
Yeah, they probably would. The
You
Thunder would
could
be like
be,
the 2 seed.
you could win 48 games in the West, and you may be the freaking play-in team. 48 wins in the East may be the 2 seed. This is ridiculous. The West is loaded with young talent. And you still got Denver. I don't know how good Golden State's going to be this year, but
Yeah, Golden State is very to me this year.
Then you got the 2 LA jokes, because they're both jokes at this point.
They really are.
I'm about to, by the way, I'm going to put a statement out right now. Okay? We are not going to debate this now. We will debate this later this month because the NBA season starts soon and we got to get our preview shows out. We'll get to those later. But this will be the argument that I will start on that show, but I will hold the statement now. Kawhi Leonard is the most overrated superstar in the NBA today.
I think so. He's still living off of that championship he won in Toronto.
We'll debate this later. But he's the most overrated superstar in the NBA. All I'm just saying, everything since Toronto has been a business decision. But yeah, all right, now, who do you think matches up, as of right now, better with Boston? New York, Milwaukee, or Philadelphia?
Miami. We seem to be the only ones that could beat them, so I don't know. They find a way. They seem to be the only ones. But to answer your question, right now, I would say, honestly, Milwaukee. I'm sorry, but I still don't know if the 76ers are going to get past that hump.
I will say that as much crap as I have given Daryl Morey over the past couple of years, and it's been a lot, there's no debate. There's no debating that. Mm-hmm. This was the first year that Daryl Morey was able to put his team together. Because just think of something here, Tyler. Daryl Morey didn't hire Doc Rivers.
True.
Daryl Morey didn't pay the worst contract in NBA history to Tobias Harris.
True.
Daryl Morey didn't draft Ben Simmons. He got now that he's free of those things, he got his coach, which was Nick Nurse, which still, I think we could agree, right? One of the best coaching hires of last season.
Yeah.
Now that he's finally been able to put his stamp on the team, this is probably the best team Embiid has had around him because the parts all make sense. So what does Joel Embiid need? All right, you need a lot of good wing players. Well, you got Kelly Oubre.
Yeah, that's a good grab.
Yeah, they kept him on that 2-year deal. You need a 2 and a 3 with him. So the first one needs to be a really good point guard. We can agree. That's a bad dude right there. That's a bad dude. Your number 3 option needs to be a wing player who can handle the ball, get his own, and be able to space the floor and play quality defense, and can be versatile from guarding multiple positions. Paul George is pretty good at all those things.
Yeah. And
again, yes, I get it. He's 34. He's not coming here to be the number 1 option. He's not even the number 2 option.
Honestly, he's not.
Back to the wing players, Caleb Martin. No one knows more about Caleb Martin than you.
All right, Caleb Martin, he's only going to help you in the postseason.
I don't care. If he averages 10 points a game, shoots 35% from 3, and just plays good defense at a small ball power forward, I don't care.
I say,
don't have to.
Good defender, good rebounder. Solid when he's on and he's able to shoot.
Solid.
He's good. He could be lights out. He could lead your team in scoring some nights. That's not going to happen every single night.
He is yes, but again, doesn't need to do that here. Let me point the obvious out. Caleb Martin is a better fit for the Sixers than Tobias Harris ever was.
Yeah.
So now you go to their bench. Now the bench it's not the greatest, but you need shooting, right? Eric Gordon can shoot.
Can he still shoot?
Eric Gordon.
Oh, let me pull up the stats from last year. I just want to see because, dude, I haven't heard that name in a minute. Eric Gordon.
37% from three.
Okay. 37.8 last year with the Suns.
Now, granted, he ain't going to defend nobody, but still.
Mm-hmm.
So Gordon's going to have a decent role. You need guys who can shoot. Kyle Lowry's back. He's going to have a much smaller role. Kyle Lowry should not have been a starter last year. He had to be thrusted into that role because of circumstances, right? So now, not only that, right, you also brought in Reggie Jackson as well. So you don't Kyle doesn't even have to play a big role. And they could both play the 1 and the 2. Now, they're a little undersized for 2 guards, but they could still both shoot the ball from the perimeter, run the second unit. They drafted that kid McCain in the first round, who I really like. Oh, and they brought back Andre Drummond.
Yep.
The Sixers have a very good team. They may be one wing player or one bench player short that I would like, but I still think this is a good team. If healthy, I think they're just as good as the Knicks, and they probably are still behind the Celtics, which who isn't? The Celtics are just the damn Celtics.
Yeah.
And Tony said the same thing. If they stay healthy, Milwaukee. Well, Milwaukee needs to keep a coach for more than 2 years, too.
That is true. That is true.
No. Never mind. Milwaukee is automatically number 4 because Doc Rivers is the coach. Forget it. I totally forgot about that.
Oh, my gosh.
To qualify that conversation, I totally forgot that Doc Rivers is the head coach of the Milwaukee Bucks. They're screwed.
Yeah, he seems to just walk into teams that seem like they're doing good, and then they just tank.
Did we ever find out why they fired the other guy?
Nope. Oh, it was probably because they needed a scapegoat, even though his star player was injured in the postseason. There were multiple injuries.
13.
Yeah,
they were rolling.
I don't get it. I don't know. You know how sports are, Sam. There's always got to be a scapegoat.
Doug Peterson. Not in Jacksonville. Well, Anthony, for them to do that, we have to get to the finals. Is this an Anthony Price early finals prediction?
Seems like it.
Because Anthony loves his predictions, and he always gets them right, too. So, Anthony, do me a favor. When it comes to the baseball playoffs, do me a favor. Shut. Don't predict anything. Don't say a word.
You know what he's going to do now, right?
I know what he's going to freaking do. But no, I personally do like the cat on the Knicks because, again, I think it's a good move for him. Like I said, Anthony Edwards clearly took over the team. They wanted to get somebody else to be the face of the franchise, which is now Anthony Edwards. I personally do think that Cat going to the Knicks, I think it's a good move for the NBA because the East needs more powerhouses. The West has all of them.
Yeah.
Like, now, if I had to rate those top 4 teams in the East in order, I would probably, in my opinion, I'm going Boston, New York, Philly, Milwaukee. And we already know why Milwaukee's 4. I don't care how good that is the worst head coach in basketball.
And they lost Drew Holiday.
No one talks about that.
I think they're going to. I think that's going to hurt them more than people are talking about.
Well, let's just look at this. Drew Holiday goes to the Bucks, championship. Leaves the Bucks, can't get back. Goes to the Celtics, championship.
Yep. Drew Holiday with the 76ers, no championship. Sorry, Sam. I'm getting booted off.
All right, I'm going solo for the rest of this show. I'm not talking about that anymore.
How dare you?
Are you done?
How dare you?
I think Adoni's just trying to hope, Tony, that the Lakers find a capable free agent eventually.
Yeah, CP3, his favorite.
Would you stop it? Would you absolutely stop it? Wait, where is CP3?
Isn't he on the Warriors?
No.
Did he not go there? Hold on.
He left.
Oh, he left. Okay, that was last year.
Oh, dude, he's on the Spurs. He's on the Spurs.
Oh, my gosh.
What year are we in?
Oh, my gosh. The Spurs.
That's a good pickup for the Spurs, though. They need a veteran point guard.
They do. I actually don't mind that.
I don't either.
Got Chris. Hold on. I didn't pull up the roster real quick. They got him, Harrison Barnes.
What? Harrison Barnes is not on the Spurs. He is.
Mm-hmm. I just saw it.
And he still averages. The one guy I won on the Sixers like every year I never got. You remember? I asked for Harrison Barnes every year.
Got Wemby. Hold on. Why is this view so ugly? Okay, there it is. Better. Let's go, ESPN. I mean, outside of Barnes, Wemby, Chris Paul, Devin Vassal's solid.
Keldon Johnson's still decent.
Yeah, I'm not seeing a whole lot. The team's still got a lot of work to do. Chris Paul will just be in there to, help out for a couple of years.
He's a floor general.
Yeah, until they can get a young kid in there established.
Yeah.
But that's an improvement. Still don't mind it for him.
Anthony predicts Chris Paul will not make it through the whole season. He'll be traded.
Okay. What is your
there you go, Tyler.
Destination prediction?
There you go, Tyler. There's your help for Jimmy. Go get Chris Paul.
Oh my gosh. You know what? I would take an established point guard like Chris Paul on that team, because the Lord knows that we can't find a good point guard that can facilitate the ball to save our lives. It is so sad.
And Anthony's kind of bringing it up about the Spurs. Anthony, the Spurs have no point guard that can facilitate their team. They do need him.
Yeah.
He will take so much pressure off of Wemby next year, it's not even funny.
You know what? Let me get Chris Paul and like a good draft pick from the Spurs. I'll trade him here.
Oh my God.
Hero could find some new footing. He's still young. Put him with Wemby. That gives them some good scoring prowess. Fill out the rest of the roster. I mean, they could work with something like that.
I'll disagree with that. All I know is that Mr. Adams is not only rocking his Saquon Barkley Penn State shirt, he is literally on the trade Tyler Hero train for the rest of his life.
Tyler Hero could still be a good player, just not with the Miami Heat. The fit's just not there. Like it couldn't be threes there. Yeah, totally.
No, that's Cliff Paul.
Oh, man. Cliff. Chris Paul to the Lakers. Oh, my gosh. Adoni is rolling over right now.
It was a great trade 12 years ago. That never happened.
Oh, yeah. Man, 48 minutes of basketball talk. Forgot what that felt like.
I miss basketball so much. I'm so happy it's coming. It's almost here.
Mm-hmm.
We'll be doing our basketball preview shows shortly. We got to map out 2 weeks for that. So do a whole Western Conference, then we'll do a whole Eastern Conference.
Yep.
But all in all, who won the cat trade, do you think? Knicks or the T-Wolves?
Knicks.
Agreed.
Because I see what the Knicks are trying to do. I don't see what the Timberwolves are trying to do.
Neither do I. I have no idea what Minnesota's trying to accomplish with this. Like, Dante DiVincenzo is not going to walk out there and give you 25 a night. The guy's good. He's not that good. Yeah. And Randall will give you 18, 10, and 8, and he'll shoot 8 for 33 every game.
Yeah.
He's the most inefficient power forward I've ever seen. And him, I don't know who's shooting threes on that team. They got no shooting now. Cat was their best shooter, and he's a center. I have no freaking idea what's going to happen there. But yeah, wow, damn, almost 50 minutes of basketball talk. I love it. I missed it. I miss talking basketball. Miss playing it too, but the knees ain't holding up no more. But don't turn 30, kid.
Don't run around with a big head.
Yes, Anthony, Josh Hart is on the Knicks. The Nova Knicks are no more, by the way, because they traded DiVincenzo. The Knicks are no longer the Nova Knicks. Now they're just the Knicks. Again, they're just the Knicks. Now, let's talk some football.
Oh, yeah.
Let's recap a crazy week in the NFL. So, where would we like to start here?
Let's just go down the list.
All right. Well, let's start Thursday Night Football. Cowboys beat the Giants 20-15.
You know, those two teams.
Real quickly, I got to answer this. Anthony. Josh Hart and Anthony Towns are not the player. Hart will play the 2 guard most likely. Or he'll come off the bench.
Yeah.
Ooh, I hate to agree with Tony, but man, do I.
I mean, yeah. Now, you know what I hope to see later on in the season? I want to see playoffs. I want a rematch against them in the playoffs.
Ugh.
Fully healthy team.
Want to go home again?
2 fully healthy teams. I want to see a rematch there.
I'll just say this. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Fool me a third time, anytime after that, why am I going to keep doing this to myself?
So we still got one more time to be fooled.
Fool that we'll have a game where the football doesn't get turned over? Absolutely. Let's do it. But we'll get into that in a second. Let's talk Cowboys-Giants. What are some takeaways from this game, which was absolutely brutal?
It was a game that looked like the Giants should have won, but the Giants and Daniel Jones cannot. Here's my biggest thing with Daniel Jones, and I was talking to somebody else about this yesterday. There were about 5 passes that were go-ahead touchdown passes where the wide receiver beat their man, and he underthrew them. And it was either batted down incomplete, or it just was caught and plays dead.
Or it's underthrown by 5 yards.
Exactly. Daniel Jones's noodle arm needs to be addressed. Could have been a reason why they were working out another quarterback today. I don't know if you saw that, C.J. Beathard.
They worked out C.J. Beathard?
C.J. Beathard. Mm-hmm.
Oh, good God. How bad is this?
Daniel Jones cannot throw a deep ball to save his life. But what does he have around him? He has receivers that actually have some speed and ability to beat their man. Too bad he can't air it out to him in stride.
No. The Giants actually have the formula of a winning team. You have a really, really good Pro Bowl caliber left tackle. Andrew Thomas has turned himself into a very good offensive lineman.
Their run game's still trash.
Their run game's in Philadelphia. But you have playmakers. You have Malik Neighbors, who, by the way, he's a stud. That is a stud wide receiver.
He is.
They have other guys. They have other wide receivers, though. They have other playmakers. They have Wan'Dale Robinson. They have Darius Slayton. They have these guys. You have an elite level sort of defense. They're getting better every year. Dexter Lawrence, Kayvon Thibodeau, Brian Burns. That's one of the best fronts in the league. You have Tyler Nubin, who you just drafted. You have the young Drew Phillips, who they drafted this year. They are putting together an elite-level defense in front of our very eyes, something that the Giants have always done. But you don't have a quarterback. That's the most important thing.
Mm-hmm.
They need to find a quarterback. They're never going to get this right until they do.
Agreed.
And the Giants outplayed the Cowboys on Thursday night. I don't care. They did. They outplayed them.
I think they did too.
But they couldn't get the job done.
Yep.
And it's a shame. Dallas won, but in my opinion, the Giants played a better game.
Yeah. I mean, the Giants' defense is the reason why they stay so close in these games. They have a really good defense that they put together.
Yeah.
Even though it seems like they're always losing guys every year. Brian Burns really hasn't done anything.
I understand that. I'm just saying you could do a lot worse than Brian Burns.
Yeah, you could have Bryce Huff.
Yeah,
I'll take
exactly.
Brian Burns over Bryce Huff.
I'll take Brian Burns all day. I'll take that inflated contract any day of the week. Tony, we're not allowed to say these things. We're not talking about this anymore because if I start, we're going to be here forever.
Well, we might as well move on. Coaching issue. We could talk about that later, though. Stick around, Tony.
That's the next game that's on the dock.
Oh, we're talking about them next? All right, well,
yeah,
let's get into it.
Bucks annihilate the Eagles.
Now, let me start by saying this game was not played well by all three facets. Something we didn't talk about on our post-game show yesterday at all was special teams.
Terrible.
Special teams needs to be talked about too. Our special teams hasn't looked good in the past, 3 years, 4 years.
No. Last year they were good. Michael Clay had them playing good last year.
Yeah, they look worse this year
than last year.
And oh my, did you hear what Isaiah Rodgers came out and said about when he pushed the guy into the gene? He said that it was a good veteran move that when you're inside the numbers, you push the guy. Well, you put DeJean, one of your top rookies, in danger on that return doing that play. It was stupid.
Well, that's like Darius Slay getting burnt by Mike Evans, getting his feelings hurt by someone on Twitter, and then posting his career accolades on Twitter.
Yeah. Like I'm not gonna go ahead and glorify the special teams for one blocked PAT that you returned.
Whoopee.
That is not going to make up for all the other snafus that you had week over week.
Agreed. Baker's been playing out of his mind for the past 2 years.
Has been. But see, here's the thing. And he's got the weapons around him. And they have the right coaching staff to make it all work. Why are there so many weapons on this Eagles offense, yet it looks stagnant? Now, granted, obviously, 2 of those top weapons weren't there yesterday, but I'm talking about weeks 1 through 3. Week 1, they had a gritty win in Brazil. Week 2, there was a lot to be desired. Week 3, another gritty win, but the offense still wasn't there. Now you come into week 4, you're down your top 2 weapons. Saquon Barkley only gets 10 carries. Technically 12 total touches because he had, 2 receptions? So 12 total touches. Okay, what are we doing? This seems like an offensive problem to me.
This seemed like a game they were trying to get out of as healthy as they could.
That's what I said yesterday, and I don't want to make excuses because they played bad as a whole team yesterday. It was not good. There was a chance where they could have turned the tide. It was like they were down 2 scores. They had a 3rd and 14, and then they had 2 penalties and got Tampa Bay out of it. Yep. If they would have got the stop there, who knows? Maybe the offense moves the ball down the field. You make it a 1-possession game.
Well, here's the other problem. Here we go again with the same thing, and I am going to take over for a minute here because I have a little thing I have to read off of Twitter. It's a little long. I'll try to get through it quick, but I want to read this. because I need you all to understand something. And we'll get to it. You get that block PAT, and Ringo takes it back. You're within 2 scores. And the same thing that has continued to happen over and over again happens. Strip sack, bucked ball. The same crap that's been happening for 2 years. Here is where I think you and I are at a disconnect. You think that I am just talking about yesterday. I am not talking about yesterday. I am not talking about 2 weeks ago. I am not talking about 5 weeks ago. I am talking about something that has been here since last season. That is where the disconnect is here. I am overly concerned over this because of something that has been a problem since last season. And it cannot be. This is the problem I'm having with Coach and because first of all, let's be real with something. Don't defend this. Coach, quarterback to a team are tied at the hip. Andy Donovan, Brady Belichick. I'll tell you right now, most likely Doug and Carson. Just to point out, when Doug went, so did Carson. Rarely does this not end in where we think it's going to end. Let me just understand this real quick, okay? Now, this is something I want to read. It's from Kendall Beck, big Eagles guy on Twitter. One of the best Eagle followers you'll ever find. This is a little long to read. I think it's a good read. And to any of our Eagle fans watching, I hope you kind of understand where I'm coming from after this. So this is he calls it the quiet thing that needs to be said out loud. Jalen Hurts has not been good since the Bills game last year. We all know he was missing his top 3 offensive players yesterday, but he wasn't missing them dating back to last year. He was still struggling, plus turning the ball over at a high percentage. We as fans have to be honest with ourselves. Hurts has the best supporting cast in the league when healthy, and it's not particularly close. Even when the supporting cast isn't healthy, like yesterday, the offensive line is still well above average. Saquon Barkley is the best running back in the NFL, and Dallas Goedert is one of the league's best tight ends. When getting paid $255 million, which for some reason we like to throw under the bus all the time, there are games that Hurts is supposed to take over. These are the games where everybody in the locker room is looking at him to persevere and find a way to lead this team to victory. Instead, these are the kind of games where excuses are made and to help defend Hurts and justify him standing in the pocket for too long because nobody is open, which then leads to another fumble or an ill-advised interception. Look around the league, and you will see how many quarterbacks do so much more with much less. Josh Allen is throwing to a bunch of number 2 and number 3 wide receivers. Lamar Jackson's only wide receiver 1 is Zay Flowers, and the rest are a bunch of wide receiver 3s at best. Patrick Mahomes has quite literally lost all of his wide receivers throughout his career and currently has no running back 1 and is yet still finding ways to win to make it work. By the way, really quick, stop comparing Patrick Mahomes and Jalen Hurts together. I'm sick and tired of it. That's not in this. I'm saying that myself. The only thing Jalen Hurts is in common with those names is that he gets – hold on. I'm almost finished. The only thing that Jalen Hurts has in common with those names is that he gets paid a lot of money like they do. Hurts' arm strength is rarely displayed, and when the opportunity presents itself, he's very hesitant as if he doesn't trust himself to get the ball to a wide receiver in time. With the exception of last week, his legs have become a non-factor for last year, and it's almost as if defenses are begging Hurts to beat him with his arm. His decision-making is egregious. He leads the league in turnovers since last year with 27, and he's leading the league this year in turnover-worthy plays with 11. By the way, I will just point out that I think the stat of turnover-worthy plays is stupid. I will point that out right now. This season is very young, but the ghosts from last year are still haunting this offense. If Jalen Hurts doesn't clean up his game, I don't think it's an exaggeration to say we could possibly be looking at another Carson Wentz situation.
So I got something to say, and it was something that you had read off late in there. The ghosts from last season. Now, I also want to go back to what Anthony said a little bit ago. Has Nick been calling plays every year? For the last 2 years? Yes.
3 out of 4. Well, 2.5. He gave Steichen play calling late in 2021.
And let me ask you this. How did the team look when Steichen was calling the plays? Best offense in the league?
Yeah.
So this is why I will not jump to say he needs to go. Here's what's going to happen, right?
Well, I'm not saying he has to go.
Sirianni
I didn't say that.
Is going to be the first one out the door. They will give Jalen Hurts another 1 or 2 years under a different head coach, a capable head coach, to get this done.
But here's the problem, though. So here's the thing, and I'm not saying it in your terms. I'm saying as a whole, that's a lazy argument because they don't have a choice. He's making $51 million a year. They're not going to have a choice but to give him a chance because if not, they're going to dead cap themselves in hell.
But
this is a worse situation. This is actually because this potentially, and I'm not. It's a speculation. This is not coming from me. If he gets worse, this will be worse than the Carson Wentz situation because he's making way more money than Carson Wentz was.
Now here's my criticism I have with Hurts. You ready for this, Sam? I still believe he is not. I still believe he is not 100% confident in his ability to still run with the football and stay healthy. There is something different from last year and now into this year as well. And I think it has a lot to do with how you see he's staying in the pocket too long. He's not getting out as fast, which is resulting in fumbles because he's getting hit from behind. He's throwing more erratic passes, trying to force things, causing more interceptions. I think it all comes down to the fact that he's still afraid to scramble with the football and make plays with his legs. I feel like if he can get over that and he can go back to, being that good decision maker like we saw early in his career, we saw him not settle for, throwing bad passes. If it wasn't there, threw it away. If he had space, he took off with it. We need to see him get back to that. Now, I don't know if it's something that he's been coached. I don't know if he's been coached to stay in the pocket as long as possible, to try and find something that's there. If he's been advised against running, I don't know what it is. But I feel like that's where his main issues are stemming from. But at the end of the day, I still see an NFL franchise-capable quarterback in Jalen Hurts. But I feel like the coaching is not there.
Here's my thing. I'm personally sorry, but I will agree with the one thing. The only thing that is the same between Jalen Hurts and those other guys on that list are he is making the same amount of money. That's the problem. If he's not going to beat you with his legs, which I don't know if he's being told not to do it. I don't know if he's afraid to do it. Because I'll tell you right now, if he's afraid to do it, then we kind of are looking at another Carson Wentz situation. We said the same thing with Carson Wentz in his own head.
Exactly. I can't agree with that.
This is the problem I'm having. If you aren't going to go and make plays with your legs, then you have to win in this league in the pocket. Patrick Mahomes wins in the pocket.
He does.
Josh Allen wins in the pocket. You know who doesn't win in the pocket? Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
What's Lamar Jackson ever won? You have to be good in the pocket. And like I said, I'm not saying, look, the strip sack yesterday, no one was that open. I agree with that. Take off. Get 1 or 2 yards. Keep the football. Just because a rusher gets past you doesn't mean he's not still there. You have to know he's still there. This is the problem we are having. This is just something that has got to change. Because now, I still believe Nick Sirianni is a big problem. I am not out on Jalen Hurts. I still think he can be a good NFL quarterback. I don't know if he's a franchise quarterback. Because I'll tell you now, and this is not a Jalen Hurts thing. I'll say it's about Jalen Hurts. I'll say it about Lamar Jackson. I said it about Michael Vick in Atlanta. I hate this style of quarterback. They don't win. That's the problem I've always had with this style. It doesn't win you shit. It comes close, but doesn't win you shit. Michael Vick's best season in the NFL when he became a good pocket passer. This is the problem, though. What happened? Eventually, like I said, I'm not out on Jalen. I'm out on Nick. I don't care about what week it is. I don't care about bye weeks. Nick Sirianni is a terrible head coach. Because if you're first of all, I'm not coaching the offense. Yes, you are. You're someone in that building is lying to us.
Yeah.
Because I am not watching what Kellen Moore did in Dallas.
Yeah.
Kellen Moore did more in Dallas.
I feel like he did more with what was it, the Chargers?
Yes.
I feel like he did more with them so far. I don't believe that. I believe it's Kellen Moore's playbook. I don't believe he's the one calling the plays.
Well, first off, let me just read these comments real quick. Coney said, I've never seen an NFL team trailing 24-0 with 7 minutes going in the second quarter and 0 total yards and 0 total yards in the first down and 1 turnover while the Bucs have 254 total yards. Did you hear Nick Sirianni's response to that, by the way? Why didn't Saquon get the ball in the first 3 drives? You know what he said? We had 9 total plays. What? The first play in the second half, he took it for 50. What?
Yeah. So why didn't you open up the first drive of the game with handing it off to him?
Also, real quick, Anthony said, so the owner likes the head coach, and that's why he's still there. For the amount of money I'm paying Hurts, you need to speak up and stop being quiet. Oh, Anthony? Trust me, if this season goes south, Jeffrey Lurie will 100% put his hand in this.
Yeah. Because you look at this past offseason.
I am refusing to believe that Dotson is this bad.
I don't see. Here's the thing. Dotson has a role, and he's a role player. Let's put this out here first. Dotson, he could be a very good wide receiver number 3. Maybe some teams, given the right situation, he could be a good wide receiver 2. I don't see Dotson being a wide receiver 1.
No.
Whoever was expecting Dotson to just step up and get 100 yards yesterday, you're out of your mind.
Yeah, I don't know what you're looking for.
And I think it was it Matt or Brian yesterday. They made a good point. You saw Britton Covey have so many plays. The ball got into his hands so many times for the first 3 weeks. He had so many design plays for him. You didn't see Britton Covey once in the offense last year.
No.
So why? And we all know Jahan Dotson's a better wide receiver than Britton Covey. Why are we not seeing plays drawn up for him? Is it because of how late that he came in? They're still trying to work him in to the offense?
Nick Sirianni has the worst offensive playbook in the NFL. And I will tell you this now. We will be talking about this later on in the season. Nick Sirianni will be fired this year. It will not get another year. And ironically, I'm not trying to say anything. Guess who was on the Pat McAfee show talking about the Eagles today?
Who?
Bill Belichick.
Oh.
Because I'm sorry. I know people like to make jokes about having him here. No team that he coached would have had that effort in the first 3 drives of the game on both sides of the football.
Now, I'm one of the people who always like to say it was Tom Brady and not Bill Belichick. Now, there's another side to that story. That Tom Brady, yes, transcending talent, whatever team he goes to, I believe, had a chance to win a Super Bowl. Bill Belichick, on the other hand, he's always going to coach his teams hard and to the fullest that he can. So they may not do that great. The record may not look that great, but they're fighting you every step of the way.
If Bill Belichick took over this team with all this talent, then I have no doubt that this Eagles team would be a Super Bowl contender. As long as you didn't hire like Joe Judge or somebody to coach the offense.
Oh, gosh. No, Matt Patricia.
No, well, first of all, if he were to come here, the first hire he needs to make is Mike Vrabel for D.C.
Yeah.
Because I warned you all, I am done with Vic Fangio and this stupid team. This team stinks.
See, this scheme seems like Fangio would need 5 years to get the right players in the system for it to work. But the players that we already had, they didn't really they aren't meshing well to it.
There's only one player on the defensive side of the football yesterday that came to play, and that was Quinyon Mitchell.
We keep saying his name every week.
Yeah. Everyone else should go kick rock. But no, this team is not. The bye week's not going to help you when you're coached like crap.
Now, here's the thing. I do not expect the defense to help us at all this year. I just expect them to do the best you can. Whatever happens, right? I just need, for when this offense is healthy, I need to see them be able to move the football when you have two of the best receivers in the league, when you have one of the best tight ends that you need to get involved in your offense even when they are healthy. I don't want to just see him when they're both hurt. I need him involved in the offense week to week.
Look, if Jalen is concerned, let me just say this real quick. If Jalen is concerned about getting the football to his wide receivers, then every quarterback safety blanket is the tight end.
Yeah.
And This is my other thing I said with Jalen. He is too dependent on A.J. Brown. And look, I know you like to make the joke, Sam still misses Carson Wentz. First of all, I'm sorry. Peak for peak, prime for prime, 11. Jalen doesn't hold 11's freaking helmet for him as a passer.
I mean, Jalen did outduel Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl.
And he lost.
The defense lost, yeah.
Yeah. Well, 7 of those points weren't.
It was a team loss, yes, I know. Fumble recovery for a touchdown.
Either way, I don't care about that anymore. I know he outdueled Mahomes. I'll say that till I'm blue in the face. If you can't you cannot be this dependent on one wide receiver. This is my point. There are teams in the league that have won with less, and I'm just using an example because it was in the same organization. Carson Wentz won the NFC East with Greg Ward, who, by the way, Matt and Brian, Greg Ward stinks. Stop frowning, guys, because they played on a banged-up team. If Greg Ward is so damn good...
Greg Ward is a very good role player.
So, right? Well, why is it... What team's he on? If he's so damn good, why is he on?
No other team knew how to use him. He's a third-down weapon. You know how many third downs that man has converted in his career?
It's not the point. You're missing the point here. That guys had took Greg Ward and Deontay Burnett to the playoffs and won a division. And it's still the same shit division. The Commanders right now are the best team in the division. Don't try to explain it any other way. We'll get to them in a little bit.
Offense is moving.
You cannot be again. And you can't ignore the price tag. When you make $51 million, you cannot be that dependent on A.J. Brown. And it can't be. Because I'm sorry.
So let me bring this up then.
Even with Devontae Smith playing, he looked like shit.
Where are the criticisms for Joe Burrow?
Joe Burrow deserves the same criticism.
Because Joe Burrow, he's touted as the best quarterback aside from Patrick Mahomes. Am I wrong?
Which he's not.
Which, right now he's not showing that.
That guy's in Buffalo. That guy right now.
They got exposed yesterday. We'll get to that too later.
Oh, they did?
We'll cover that game. They got exposed.
Well, let's be fair. Defensively, they're not good.
Dude, that Buffalo defense the first few weeks was really good.
They were.
Maybe not against Arizona week 1, but they looked like they were well coached.
They've got more boom and bust potential than they do elite defense status.
Yeah.
Let's say that. But, you can't... That's all I'm saying. When I'm paying you this much money, I should give the money to A.J. Brown then. You can't be dependent on a wide receiver like that. Okay, you don't want to use Carson Wentz, that's fine. Let's go back to the best quarterback in the history of the franchise, who went to 4 straight NFC title games, and out of 3 of those, he had Todd Pinkston and James Thrash and Freddie Mitchell, and it was a way more physical league back then. And I hate Donovan. I still remember the damn Super Bowl.
Yeah.
You have to, like that Kendall Beck said, you have to have a game where you say, I'm going to put you mother effers on my back. Let's go. And every time this happens, we look like shit.
I mean,
And
yeah,
I'm
the
going
last
back.
time we saw him do that was Buffalo. Actually, I'll even give you the second. I'll give him benefit of the doubt. Second half of Week 1, the second half of that Packers game, he kind of did put that team on his. He
No,
did.
because he. Yeah, why did he? Because he had AJ Brown. That's what I'm getting. You have to have a game where if someone like that is out, you got to say, mother effer, I'm putting you on my back. We're getting this game, no matter who's out.
Okay, but guess what? That's not going to happen every game. He could have a game like that, but guess what?
He hasn't done that ever.
Because he hasn't really had that many games without AJ Brown.
Well, he needs to start doing it eventually because he's had Devontae Smith in them and he still can't do it. But wait, let's go back to the point that what that article said. This was happening last year with AJ Brown. This is the problem I'm having. Sir, almost 30 turnovers in 2 years is not good. This is alarming because he was so good at it in 2022. He didn't do anything. I don't remember him having one bad game in 2022.
Told you, I'm blaming the coaches before I blame the players. And not even necessarily Kellen Moore.
The coaches cannot teach you your pocket awareness to improve. You have to improve that yourself. Sirianni can't go out and block Levante David longer for him. That has to be on him.
But then you got to ask, what's changed?
Listen, I am, as of right this second, I don't want to talk about after the bye week. It hasn't happened yet. I want to talk about tomorrow. Tomorrow, 8 o'clock tonight hasn't happened yet. Jalen Hurts and Nick Sirianni have had one successful NFL run, and it was with Shane Steichen. Until I am proven wrong, that is what I'm sticking my point to. Shane Steichen was the mastermind behind these two. Because without him, they both look lost.
I mean, the stats show it.
It's ridiculous.
That's why I'm saying we can have this discussion every single week. We can keep talking about it nonstop.
And that's the problem. We're going to have it every week until something changes.
And the first thing that needs to change
is changing
is either one, Sirianni, the best thing he could do is go back to, what year was that? When around middle of the season, when he made his what was it, watering the plants joke or something like that?
21, first year.
21. And after that, they put on a string of wins and they ended up making the playoffs. He needs to have something click in his head to realize.
No. I'm answering this right now. No. The answer was no. He won the NFC title game that year without T.O. because he got to the Super Bowl that year without Terrell Owens because T.O. broke his leg.
Yeah.
Anthony, I just said it. 4 straight NFC title games and all 4 without T.O. Yes, T.O. in the Super Bowl, but T.O. was out that whole postseason. He did not depend on T.O. And guess what? They were still a contending playoff team every year without. They went to the NFC title game in 2008 without T.O. Anthony, Joe Burrow has freaking Jamar Chase and T. Higgins.
But I will say, I called it. I said that they were going to miss Joe Mixon a lot more than they were willing to admit. Everyone said that, okay, sure, see you, go. We're not paying you. I knew it was going to hurt them a lot more than that.
Tony, to be fair, I would not want to be a 300-pound defensive tackle in 110 degrees playing football.
Now, I'm going to say this too. I don't see, unless if there's a lot of injuries that happen at some point, I don't see another huge loss like that this season.
Better not.
I don't see another blowout loss like that this season. I really want to believe, and hopefully coming out of the bye week, I'm right, that this game was get out without any more injuries You came into the game, it was a bad situation. You had guys banged up. 117 degrees, guys cramping up. You get out without injuries, gear up for the bye week, prepare for the rest of the season. Because it's going to be a long stretch for the rest of the season.
Well, speaking of long stretch, hold on. 49ers head coach Kyle Shanahan confirmed that running back Christian McCaffrey has experienced bilateral Achilles tendonitis for some time, but the condition is more concentrated in one leg than the other. So he has Achilles tendonitis in both his legs.
Oh my gosh. Who was the 2020 QB class? Can you remind me?
Exactly. You ain't going to remember.
I don't know how notable it.
Hey, you know what? Honestly, guess what? If Nick, you know what? I don't think Belichick does come here, but guess what?
Oh.
Sorry, George. George popped it at the wrong time. I'm leaving this with.
That was a perfect time.
Also, I said this at work today. Oh, there's the class for you.
Yeah, I looked it up too. I mean,
Two
is never going to stay healthy. Joe Burrow's probably going to be what could have been. Jordan Love, jury's still out on Jordan Love.
Jordan Love may be the best one in the class.
He had a terrible start to yesterday's game, but he had a great finish.
Dude didn't play for 2 weeks.
Yeah. Justin Herbert, I'd still say jury's still out on Herbert too.
Herbert needs a better team around him.
But I mean, you don't look at the 2020 QB class and you don't see, you don't see your Patrick Mahomes. You don't see your Josh Allen.
Anthony, that Browns offense is so bad. If they don't beat them, they could win that game 10-3, and I wouldn't give a shit.
Now, the O-line should be fully healthy coming into that game.
The team should be fully healthy.
Exactly. The whole team should be fully healthy.
Hold on. Let me just point this out real quick, okay? Your next 4 games coming out of the bye. Let me just look at this real quick. So we have our bye week.
Mm-hmm.
You come out home versus Cleveland.
Okay.
At Giants.
At Giants. That's another home game, essentially.
At Cincinnati, and then hosting the Jaguars. If you don't go 3-1 in that stretch, we are going to have a problem.
I'll be honest, Sam. I need to see 4-0 in that stretch.
Tyler, there's no way that defense is stopping Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase. There's no freaking way.
No. They might stop themselves.
That is true as well.
Just look at the way they've played. What have they done that has showed you that you are afraid of them? What have you seen so far?
Not a damn thing.
They scored 10 points and lost to the Patriots week 1. They come in, they lose by 1 point to the Chiefs. Now, there was a lot that happened in that game to where they could have won. We all know about that. It is. The Commanders, they take the loss to them.
Lit them up.
Lit them up, exactly. And then the Panthers, they beat them by 10. I don't see anything from the Bengals that scares me. Because guess what? Guess what they're going to have to do? And this is the only thing we can credit to Fangio. They don't let anything go deep past them. The Bengals are going to have to beat them short. And with a shoddy run game, it's going to be a long day of short check down passes for them.
All right. Well, let's move on to the rest of this game because I have another show to do later on tonight. So let's move on into the rest of this recap because we've been talking about the Eagles now for almost like a half hour. So I'm just going to end it with, look, Sirianni, I'm done with this dude. I thought Chip Kelly was a bad head coach. Nick Sirianni's worse.
There's one thing that I want to end this with that I keep saying week after week. I don't see good play calling. Yes, I get it. You can
I don't see good
criticize the
football.
players out there. I do not see good play calling to even put the players in a good situation. The play
I don't see
calling
good
looks so
anything.
bad. The scheming looks so bad. So it's just like, where do you go from there? Are you just going to have the guys go
Oh,
out there and play backyard football at that point? Because if you
might as
can't game
well.
plan, you can't scheme, you can't call good plays, well, whatever. Have them line up out there and do whatever they want. See what happens.
Be on late having me. All right, cool. So I got a little more time.
So what game we got up next?
Colts beat the Steelers 27-24.
I'll be honest, I was kind of shocked by that.
Well, I was told by a certain quarterback couldn't throw, and that quarterback was 22 of 34 for 312 yards yesterday. Also, I do want to. I love this kid's talent. We may need to start having a talk about Anthony Richardson, who once again left this game with an injury.
Yeah.
There's
Even injuries aside, he still hasn't looked good.
No, he's looked good, but he can't stay healthy. He's still flashes.
Joe Flacco once again comes in and saves the day.
Firing the head coach. There's too much talent to break it up. The team stays together. I'm firing the coach.
So then answer me this. Why the heck did Joe Flacco come in and look good?
Joe Flacco.
Oh, so hold on. We're saying that Ravens Joe Flacco, now journeyman quarterback Joe Flacco, is that dude.
Oh, he's the best backup quarterback to Dick Foles.
Honestly, I can give you that.
Exactly.
But Tyler, actually, I don't know. I think Andy Dalton's got his number, man.
Oh, stop it.
Andy Dalton, man, might be the best backup quarterback of the league right now.
Knock it off.
But man, last thing I got to say about that is Bears, good job.
Well, we'll talk about that in a minute. Next up, Vikings outlast the Packers' late comeback attempt 31-29 and improved to 4-0. Sam Darnold threw 3 more touchdown passes yesterday.
Man, Sam Darnold, week after week, he's just piling it on.
Jeff George. Oh, God. Joe Flacco was an Eagle, too, at one point.
Yeah.
I rather gave him Joe Flacco $51 million.
Yeah, sure, Sam.
No, I'm not that stupid. And breaking news, just in case anyone wants to know, the Atlanta Braves are heading to the postseason.
To get knocked out.
The Mets and Braves split the doubleheader. The Braves will be heading off to San Diego to play the Padres. The Mets will be heading to Milwaukee to play the Brewers. The Arizona Diamondbacks have been eliminated. Oh, God. Is that true?
What is that?
Anthony Richardson's mother is 8 years older than Joe Flacco. Nice. Can we now... George, just like he predicted, the split occurred. No, I don't think this is without a doubt. 8 days older? Oh, good Lord. Someone missed that stat George said. Sam Darnold has to be comeback player of the year now.
I think he might be. He's got to be leading candidate at least.
And coach of the year may have to be Kevin O'Connell.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you right now, yes, the Packers have a great offense when healthy. We know that. Before this week, Brian Flores is that defense playing like a bunch of dogs.
Yeah.
They're playing like a bunch of grown men. That Vikings team, and remember something, they don't got to rush McCarthy back next year. Sam Darnold's only 27 years old. I know, he feels like he's been in the league forever.
Imagine if McCarthy just or not McCarthy. If Darnold just keeps playing like this level year after year, and then McCarthy just doesn't get to see the field.
Okay, now hold on. Here's the funniest thing now with baseball. So the Braves and Mets just played that doubleheader. It was a split doubleheader, so the second game was played 25 minutes after. So the Braves now just won against the Mets, and both teams are going into their locker rooms to celebrate. When have you ever seen something like that, where a team won the first game of the doubleheader, didn't have time to celebrate, lost the second one, and they're both going to celebrate? This is one of the wackiest things I've ever seen in my history of watching baseball. This is insanity. Stuart said Packers and Vikings playing like contenders are not pretenders. I'm impressed. They are. The Vikings are playing. They got the formula. They got the weapons. The quarterback's playing well. The head coach is awesome. The defense is elite. There ain't much more you can say. Packers just got to get healthy. Christian Watson got hurt yesterday, so hopefully he's okay. Next up, the Texans outlast the Jags 24-20. C.J. Stroud threw a fourth-quarter touchdown pass to win the game. Stroud ended 27-40 for 345 yards and 2 passing touchdowns, where Trevor Lawrence was 18-33 for only 169 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Yep.
The Texans still can show they're the best team in the AFC South. Tyler, we said that the Jags are up on the Eagles' schedule in about a month. Do you think Doug Peterson makes it to that game?
I'm not sure. I mean, an 0-4 start, that's not what you're looking for.
Nope.
Remind me, was it this past offseason or the one prior that they gave Lawrence that extension?
Yes, they came to him this year.
This past year.
Anthony, I didn't say Anthony Richardson has been good. I said he has showed flashes.
Richardson has shown flashes, very few flashes.
Oh, my God.
What's it?
Keep talking for a minute. Keep talking. I got to look at this.
What does it involve? Say sport.
Oh, my God. Breaking news. MLB.
Carefully. Oh, it's MLB. Okay.
Major League Baseball legend Pete Rose has passed away at the age of 83.
Wow.
Oh, my God. This is a terrible day for sports. Pete Rose has passed away at 83. This is per TMZ, Ian Rappaport. Pete Rose has passed away at the age of 83 years old.
Wow.
This is a very sad episode.
Yeah. Wow.
This is a bad day. This is a very sad day for baseball. Okay, let's try to reel us back in here. Oh my God. What were you saying before I had to just sit there and shock for a minute?
I don't know if Doug Peterson's still going to be there.
Doug Peterson.
I mean, the one thing that I would say they changed in their game plan approach against the Texans was they actually used a true running back, Tank Bigsby, to run the football. They need to realize that Travis Etienne, he's not a great running back. He's a good receiving back.
Yes.
That's the way it was at Clemson. I don't know why. Where they thought that he was just like a number one do-it-all running back. He's not. And man, does Gabe Davis stink.
You needed to be told that now?
1 catch for -2 yards. It was probably a screen pass that got blown up. And that's it. That's all he got. Brian Thomas, though,
That kid's a stud.
he's that dude.
We'll tag it.
Go Tigers. But yeah, I mean, like I said, based off of the teams that the Eagles play the next 4 weeks, I honestly, my expectations 4-0.
It better be.
Fully healthy, all that money put into that offense, better go 4-0 in those games. Don't underestimate any of them. Because guess what? That 0-4 Jags will be the team that sneaks up and beats you.
I'm also just going to point out that if for some reason he was fired, I wouldn't be opposed to bringing back Doug Peterson.
Oh, I don't know how I feel about a reunion.
Oh, Doug was scapegoated.
I do believe that.
Doug got fired because he wouldn't take the job Yes Man did.
That's the reason he probably wouldn't come back. He'd be like, okay, am I gonna have some say so? No, okay, see ya.
What a sad day. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to like cut you off there, but what a sad day it's been.
Yep.
Next up, Tyler, I'm going to let you start this one off. Falcons and Saints. Falcons beat the Saints 26-24 without scoring an offensive touchdown.
How did they do it? How in the world did they pull it off? You know what else is crazy about that game? Dude. No team had a passing touchdown.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, did you have Derek Carr?
Yeah, Taysom Hill decided to score 2 damn freaking. I hate Taysom Hill. I hate Taysom Hill.
You knew it was going to happen.
I still hate Taysom Hill.
But, I mean, I really don't know how they pulled it off. I don't know how they did it. Like, how do you put up 26 without an offensive touchdown?
I don't know. Well, let's look real quick. They had where's the box score here? There we go. All right, they had a Young Hoku field goal. Derek Carr threw a pick 6, and then the rest are all Young Hoku field goals. Holy crap! This division is terrible.
Yeah, that is wow, just shocking. Well, so much for the early Saints fans' hopes of them being a powerhouse.
Honestly,
now they're sitting at 2-2, like the rest of the league.
Next up, the Bears defeat the Rams 24-18. Caleb Williams easily had his best game as a pro, going 17 for 23 for 157 yards and 1 passing touchdown, no interceptions.
Best game as a pro, and still an underwhelming game.
I still just don't see it, dude. I really don't. And the Rams' defense is terrible. Let's just get that out of the way. No Aaron Donald, no defense.
Here's the issue with the Bears, too. And, it still might not even be that Caleb Williams is this bad. Because guess what? Justin Fields couldn't succeed in this offense either. But he's doing just fine with the Steelers. I still believe they are very poorly coached. Like, you want to know who the receiving leader was on the team? Take a guess.
Well, it wasn't DJ Moore, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah. You'd probably guess maybe Cole Kmet, right?
I would hope.
It was DeAndre Swift with 7 receptions. Do you know how many receptions Cole Kmet had?
Do I want to know?
3. The same amount that both DJ Moore and Keenan Allen had. 3 receptions. And Roma Dunes had 1 reception.
What are we doing?
They barely had any receptions on that team. And DeAndre Swift ran the ball 16 times for 93 yards. Somehow they were able to pull out a win. I don't know. all I got to
Next
say,
up,
man, it was just weird this year.
Bengals outlast the Panthers 34-24. Okay. The Bengals defense still sucks. But
Yeah, they are very bad.
do we want to have this snooze fest of a game? Broncos 10, Jets 9.
Oh, but dude, one of the most underwhelming games. This is the reason why Aaron Rodgers is not going to win Comeback Player of the Year.
Nope.
Because that offense has just looked like the Jets' offense from years past. Is this just the Jets' curse? Like, what is happening? And what happened to Brees Hall? Brees Hall he led the team in carries with 10, and he had 4 yards. The rookie Braylon Allen had more yards than him off of 8 carries. Even Rodgers had more yards off of him. Who would have thought?
Yeah, right.
What is the Jets' curse, man? Like, what is going on?
That was the worst game the Jets played this year, and they've got shellacked by the Niners on opening day.
Yeah, but this is by far the worst.
Yeah, and don't really have much to say about it.
There's not much to say.
There's not much to it. Yeah. Next up, the Washington Commanders go out to Arizona and dismantle the Arizona Cardinals 42-14. Tyler, you and I had tried to warn people. Jaden Daniels is a stud.
It's the best quarterback in the draft.
And right now, if we are, do they do awards for assistant coaches of the year?
They should.
Because Cliff Kingsbury is doing a tremendous job with Jaden Daniels.
Oh man, is he ever? I would like to point out both Brian Robinson and James Conner both had really good days running the football. But the final score does not show that.
Do you know what Jaden Daniels' completion percentage is so far?
Very high.
He is completing 82.1% of his passes.
82. Yeah, I see just yesterday's game, 26 for 30. Like, man. And 1 interception. So technically he only missed 3 throws and got picked off once.
Yeah. And he's got 7 total touchdowns on the year. He's got 3 passing and 4 rushing touchdowns. He's almost thrown for 900 yards as well. This kid is a stud.
Yeah, he's special. And man, that defense is playing good too.
That's Dan Quinn.
Yep.
But you see, Dan Quinn is doing what Nick Sirianni won't. All right, Cliff, this is your unit. I'll coach mine. We'll stay out of each other's way. Nick can't do that.
Yep.
Niners dismantle the Patriots 30-13. Not a surprise. The Patriots have no offense.
Yeah.
And now we go down to the Embarrassment Bowl, which is the Raiders and the Browns. Raiders beat the Browns 20-16. Once again, Deshaun Watson does not look right mentally or physically. And the Raiders outlast them. Gardner Minshew Mania continues to go wild.
Even though they considered benching him. Which, after 14 for 24 and 130 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions, I still wouldn't be fully on board for Minshew Mania.
No. Chiefs outlast the Chargers 17-10, but bigger story, Chiefs look like they've lost Rashee Rice for the year. Mm-hmm. They are fearing torn ACL, which was caused by his own quarterback diving into his leg.
Yep. That is tragic.
Oh, well, Travis Kelce better get them old legs. He better tell Taylor, I got to go back in the gym because they're going to need him now.
Oh, he did. I mean, hey, he led the team in receptions for the first time this season with 7, put up 89 yards. So he's there. He was just waiting.
Going to be more Xavier Worthy, I'm assuming.
Yeah, Worthy had a nice touchdown catch. He just straight line outran his defender and just got in the back of the end zone.
He straight line outruns everybody.
Yeah. The fastest guy in the draft. You'd hope so.
Then to wrap up our Week 4 recap. Ravens dominate the Buffalo Bills 35-10. All I got to say is, all hail King Henry.
All hail King Henry. The first thing that I texted you was, man, I did not know he still had speed like that. I saw him break through that hole, and I thought someone was going to catch him. I'm like, all right, he's not faster than most defensive backs, right? No one got close. He just had him.
Yep.
Man, a signature Derrick Henry game, 24 carries, 199 yards. And honestly, signature Lamar Jackson game, 13 completions off of 18 pass attempts, 156 yards, 2 touchdowns. That's the classic Lamar game right there.
I hate mobile quarterbacks.
And then something else interesting, this is the one thing that I will give credit to Harbaugh and the Ravens coaching staff. They evolve this team every year. Justice Hill led the team in receptions with 6 for 78 yards.
Oh, yeah.
That's their second string running back. They know how to utilize both of their running backs to their fullest potential. And it's working for them. And oh man, Derrick Henry had his first receiving touchdown since like 5 years. It's crazy.
Please, he has had a receiving touchdown since he was at Bama.
But man, the Ravens still have a lot of things they got to work out.
Oh, yeah.
Because, it's cool running the football and all. There's going to be a team that you come up against where it's not working. When that happens, Zay Flowers has to have more than 1 catch for 10 yards. Mark Andrews has to have more than 0 catches.
He needs to have a catch.
Yeah, he needs just a catch. And Isaiah Likely, only 1 catch, too. It was a 26-yard one. It was actually a good throw from Lamar. I was impressed. But that's it. I mean, I get it. Hey, you had a great day running the football, and you were dominating them, sure.
But, well, Anthony said right here, Ravens are finally using Henry like they should. Yes, they have. Derrick Henry is not a shotgun running back. You have to put Lamar under center with him. And look what happened. He's ran for like 500 yards in the past 2 weeks.
Yeah. But the true test is going to come when they face a team where they can't run the football well on them. And Lamar's going to have to pull out that arm. And I mean, he's got some weapons around him. Zay Flowers, Isaiah Likely, Mark Andrews, Rashad Bateman's solid wide receiver too. Nelson Aguilar is Nelson Aguilar.
Nelson Aguilar is Nelson Aguilar.
But, man.
You want to throw out some predictions for the Monday night doubleheaders games real quick?
Oh, yeah. Let's see. I don't even want to talk about the one. I might fall asleep.
Dolphins win 17-10. Both these teams stink.
I'll do you one better. 14 to 6.
Oh God, that's a
Titans get two field goals.
All right, and then Lions Seahawks. How you feeling about that game?
Oh, I'm watching this game. Got the 3-0 Seahawks, their first true test against the Detroit Lions team, which is a pretty stacked team. Oh man, I think it's gonna be a decently scoring game. I'm gonna go. Lions are home. I'm gonna say the Seahawks suffer their first loss of the season here, but I don't think it's gonna be by a lot. I think they lose by 3 points. I'm gonna go 27-24. I think they just fall short.
I'm going to go 29-24 Seahawks. Okay. Jared Goff is not playing the same he was last year. He turned the football over a lot.
Yeah, true. I just saw Brian Branch was out as well.
Oh, that's big. DK Metcalf game?
Possibly. And Kenneth Walker's healthy again. So they got the run game back.
Yeah, but Detroit's run defense this year has been down, man. They have been elite this year.
Yep, that is true. So I think the Lions might sneak a win out.
Mike McDonald's got that defense in Seattle looking like the Legion of Boom again. They're playing elite level football again.
Yeah.
I got the Seahawks winning 29-24. Geno going to have a good game.
Oh my gosh.
I hate Geno Smith.
Oh my gosh. I need to flip it and book it. Geno's having a good game.
Well, he
Let's
needs to.
go all aboard the Geno train.
He's almost like Jalen. He's almost been like Jalen Hurts in a way. Like, you play decent. Stop turning the damn football over. Like, I don't know how hard it is to tell you guys stop turning the football over. Oh. But now, who's ready to talk some college?
Oh, yeah. Let's get the rundown.
So, I'll run down the games. We'll talk about some games after, because we watched some good games on Saturday. Oh, did we watch some good games? And I also have the new AP Top 25. So we give our thoughts on it.
Here we go.
First off, we'll start out with number 7 Miami as they outlasted Virginia Tech 38-34. Number 9 Penn State defeated number 19 Illinois 21-7. Number 12 Michigan outlasted Minnesota 27-24. Number 22 BYU outlasted Baylor 34-28. Kansas State absolutely annihilated, and I mean annihilated, Oklahoma State 42-20. Number 6 Ole Miss fell to Kentucky 20-17. Number 24 Texas A&M outlasted Arkansas 21-17. Geez, did any top 25 team play a blowout game? Holy crap! Number 13 USC defeated Wisconsin 38-21. Number 16 Notre Dame outlasted Louisville 31-24. Number 21 Oklahoma outlasted Auburn 27-21. Number 1 Texas defeated Mississippi State 35-13. Arch Manning had a very good performance. Number 18 Iowa State defeated Houston 20-0. Number 17 Clemson destroyed Stanford 40-14. Number 3 Ohio State defeated Michigan State 38-7. Number 4 Alabama upset Georgia 41-34. Number 14 LSU defeated South Alabama. There's no way that's a real pool. 42-10. Boise State defeated Washington State 45-24. Number 10 Utah was upset by Arizona 23-10. And number 8 Oregon defeated UCLA 34-13. So Tyler, do you have any games you would like to speak of?
I mean, that Georgia-Alabama game,
that's got to be one of the greatest college football games of all time.
They always put on classics. And man, Woods, I really thought Georgia could have done it. I don't know what the play call was once they finally got like within the 15 yards. I don't know what that decision was on the first down, but it was what it was. Good game regardless. Still don't know how Alabama even let them come into that game. Come back in that second half, no idea.
They were dominating.
Yeah.
Like, Jalen Milroe had one of his best performances. Could Jalen Milroe be a sneaky Heisman candidate?
I can see it.
I mean, if you look at his stat line from this game, he was 27-33 for 374 and 2 touchdowns, and then he ran 16 for 117 and 2 more touchdowns. And by the way, Ryan Williams is special.
Oh, yeah.
Sam is 17-year-old phenom wide receiver. Yeah. This may be the best prospect coming out of Bama's wide receiver room since Devontae Smith. He may be better.
He might be.
And Devontae Smith is a pimp. But he is. This kid is special.
Mm-hmm.
And, yeah, I mean, we know Carson Beck. I don't know why he was throwing up a 50-50 ball at that point in the game. They still had a chance to get that more yards out.
It was first down.
Before.
And they had like a minute to work with. Like, they were moving the ball. They were chipping away perfectly fine.
No one wins 50-50 balls more than Alabama defensive back. I don't even know why you're trying to do it.
It was a bad throw, too. Like, he did not place that on the outside shoulder nearly enough. He threw it too far inside.
Yeah.
Like, I saw what they were trying to do. They did it like 3 times on that drive, and it worked. I knew what they were trying to do, but it was just a badly placed ball. On a first down, you don't want to see that. If it was like third down, fourth down, sure, go with the play that's been working for you. But first down, there's a better play than that.
Agreed.
There's something else college I want to talk about. I don't know. Do you want to do your EP 25 real quick?
Well, I have a couple other games I like to talk of real quick. Would you like to comment on Penn State beating Illinois?
Oh man, that was a great game.
That's Big Ten football.
That is classic Big Ten football right there. They played a really sound game, a really solid game. This was their first true test of the season, and they showed up.
Actually, Anthony, that is three because the lady who played Professor McGonagall in Harry Potter passed away last week.
Oh man!
So it's her, Dikembe. It's not a good week. It's not a good week. But anyway, Tyler, you want to continue your thoughts on Penn State?
I mean, they played a really solid game. Their second half defense just continues to be one of the best that I've seen. I wish the Eagles could have a second half defense like that.
I wish the Eagles had a first 10-minute defense like that. What I will say is that Abdul Carter showed up to play in this game. That was the best game Abdul Carter's played for Penn State yet this year, and they need him to be that way so they can be. If they want to be in the playoff and be a contender for that, even with this new format, he has to be that good. But no, Tom Allen is the best defensive coordinator in college football when it comes to second half adjustment. Because just to give a little insight on this game, let me just go get my box score up here. Coming into this game, Illinois quarterback Lou Altmaier was coming into the season. He had one turnover the entire season. They forced two in the second half. How Penn State wins their games right now, they're going to do two things. They're going to play great defense, and they're going to run the football.
Yeah.
And I will tell you this right now. Penn State, Katron Allen, and Nicholas Singleton are the best running back duo in college football. They ran the football like grown men. Penn State's front seven, their offensive line, and their front seven on defense, Penn State wins up front. Their offensive line was creating holes for Nicholas Singleton and Katron Allen the whole game. I mean, Illinois scored on their first drive, didn't score again for the rest of the game. That's insane. And don't take any credit away from Illinois. Illinois came to play. Their defense, their secondary, did a very good job. And I'll say this. Drew Aller had his best game of the year against Kent State. This week, he wasn't that good. He made some errant throws and some throws that he made as a mistake as
the best defense
starter.
He's seen so far this year.
What I will say is, Drew Aller, he did not win you the game. But also, Tyler, he did not lose you the game. He made throws when he had to. 15 of 21, 135 yards. But no turnovers, no fumbles, no interceptions. He made throws when he had to, and he won you the football game. Drew Aller will get better. I am more than confident in that. I still think Drew Aller is a very good quarterback, and I think he's just going to get better from here. But I will say, he did not have his best, but give Illinois credit. Drew Aller does not like to work outside the numbers. He likes to work inside in the middle of the field. Illinois was taking that away from him the whole game. And give them credit, because they have a lot. Their best player on offense outside of their running back, Tyler Warren. And we've seen that every week. Best tight end in college football. I don't think it's close. They took him out of the game in the middle of the field. They took the middle of the field away from Penn State. And Penn State did a good job of running the football, icing the game on the ground, and their defense was outstanding. So Penn State that was a big win. Another game that I really was entertained by was Michigan. Yeah, they only won by 3. But as long as I said this all the time, Michigan, I know they lost a bunch. They lost Harbaugh. They lost everybody. They lost all their guys from last year. But The one thing I'll say about Michigan, real quickly though, what's up, Carol?
Hey, what's up?
Hope you're having a great day. I was having a great weekend until the Birds played yesterday, but can't have everything go our way. Here's what I'll say about Michigan. I know they lost Harbaugh. I know they lost Minter. I know they lost a lot of their players. As long as Michigan plays timely defense and runs the football with Mullins like they have been, they're going to be in the playoff. They're still going to be in the playoff. They have a championship culture. That's all you need.
Yeah, that's true.
They have that culture. And I think the last game I just want to comment on is Kansas State and Oklahoma State. I said this in a YouTube short on 609's YouTube, which, by the way, everybody, if you do not, please go subscribe over to the 609 Sports Talk YouTube. It is at 609 Sports. Sophomore quarterback for Kansas State, Avery Johnson. Terrible game against BYU. Responded 19 to 31, 259 yards, 3 passing touchdowns, 5 carries, 60 yards, 2 rushing touchdowns. Big response game from him. Daryl, we don't know. We don't know what happened to the Birds. We don't know. I don't know.
Coaching. Maybe they coached to live to see another week without injuries. Who knows what happened? All we can hope for is that come out of the bye week, they look like a team that can compete. Because if not, it's going to be a long season. Highest paid offense.
And Tyler, do you have something? You said you had something college-wise to talk about too, right?
Yes. So I have something to say about undefeated UNLV. I don't know if you've heard about what's going on.
I have not.
Their quarterback, their starting quarterback, Matthew Sluka, decided to walk away from the team after starting undefeated.
Okay.
It is over an NIL dispute of $100,000.
Oh, that's a lot of money.
He was apparently promised by an assistant coach that if he transferred to the Rebels last winter, that he would receive $100,000 payment, NIL payment. But there was no contract, nothing ever written out. The team did try to, come to terms and, work out a payment plan for him. But apparently him and his representative were making implied threats and financial demands upon the university and its NIL collective in order to continue playing for them. So ultimately, they said, well, if you're not willing to work with us, then you're out of luck. So Nick Saban talked about this, and it's actually funny because Nick Saban was one of the first coaches to come out and criticize the NIL and talk about how it wasn't structured enough. It was a good idea, but there was not enough structure, not enough oversight to it. And this is the first time that we're actually seeing something major happen with it. A player walking away from an undefeated team. Now, granted, without him, they still won. They still won over the weekend. So It seems like business as usual for them. But it's just crazy. And since he hasn't played 5 games yet, he still keeps his eligibility for, I think it's the senior year. So he can, essentially he'll sit out the rest of this year, go into the transfer portal, and then be able to play out his final year next year in 2025.
Crazy. So all this over
all of this over money in college football.
See, this is why
we ever thought we would have seen the day.
This is why letting this happen was going to be an issue.
There's nearly not enough oversight in it. It was just kind of like, all right, these players can accept money. That was it. End of the conversation.
You got to have it really
not enough rules, not enough structure involved in this. And Saban was the first one to say that there was going to be issues, and he was right.
Honestly,
he pretty much said, I told you so.
Could you think this is maybe why Saban got out when he did?
Maybe.
Like, yeah, you guys handle this crap. I ain't doing it.
Yeah. But I just couldn't believe it. Kids willing to walk away from an undefeated team. Now, granted, $100,000 isn't no small amount of money, especially for a college team. It's not.
Oh, yeah.
The first mistake you made there, buddy, was you had never had a contract in place. You agreed that you were promised $100,000 to transfer to the school in NIL payments. You didn't think that signing something on a piece of paper was a good idea. Having a lawyer representative look it over. But that's all I got on that. Terrible situation. But
it is.
Overall, I think the school handled it well. Because, I mean, the kid and his representative were essentially trying to stronghand the school, but
Yeah.
they weren't having it.
No. This NIL thing needs to be handled better because it's ridiculous.
Yeah, it does.
What's up, Alex? Alex, of course, wants to
What's
come
up,
out and say,
Alex?
rest in peace to the hate king, Pete Rose. Absolutely. Also, can we agree with something now? Let him in the hall. Can we stop this now?
Maybe this will finally be the reason.
Well, here's the problem. A sport that was so against betting. Now look where we are.
Mm-hmm.
Can you spell contradict?
FanDuel, DraftKings, you name it.
Yeah. I'll be making a YouTube short about that probably tomorrow. One other college game I do want to throw out, by the way, was Texas. Arch Manning looked a lot more comfortable in his second start.
He did. He looked very comfortable out there. Man,
26-31.
Yeah. Like, he looked composed out there, controlled throws, deep throws. He's going to be something special. And he's not going to rush himself into the NFL.
Nope.
That's the one thing that he came out and him and his family said is he's playing all his college career out, and then he'll declare for the draft.
Which is smart.
It is smart.
He's got a good support system. That's why.
Oh, yeah.
I wonder if Peyton said, yeah, when you get drafted, don't do what Eli did.
Don't pull an Eli. You don't
pull an Eli. Are we ready for our new AP Top 25?
Oh, yeah. I'm ready to hear this.
All right. Texas is no longer number one.
What?
Alabama has moved all the way up to number one. I don't agree with that at all.
So on one hand, right, Texas hasn't played anybody that wows you yet.
Okay, but they're still winning.
That is true. I do agree with that. They are still winning. But, I mean, a big name win like Georgia. Now, granted, I don't agree with them being number one. I thought they would have jumped to like 2 or 3. I didn't think they were going to jump all the way up to 1.
If anything, them and Georgia should just swap.
That's what I thought would have happened. Georgia would have dropped because it was a close loss. I don't see them dropping that far. I guess we're going to find out how far they did drop.
We're going. Let's find out. So Bama's at 1, Texas is at 2, Ohio State is still at 3. What else? Tennessee is at number 4. Georgia has dropped to number 5.
Really?
Yep. Oregon has moved up to number 6. Penn State has moved up to number 7. Miami State at 8. Missouri is at 9. Michigan is now back up to 10. USC is now 11. Ole Miss dropped from 6 to 12. Well, when you lose to Kentucky, that'll happen.
Yeah.
LSU is number 13. Notre Dame 14. Clemson 15. Iowa State 16. BYU moving up to 17.
Really?
Utah drops all the way down to 18. Oklahoma dropping to 19. Kansas State moves back up to 20. Boise State is now 21. Louisville is number 22. I believe Indiana is number 23. Illinois is number 24. And UNLV is number 25.
Yep, there they are.
Any issues with the AP Top 25?
Aside from Bama jumping Texas for number 1, no. Seems about right.
Yeah. I have no issues with that. I have issues with Bama going to 1. I think they should have went to 2. I have no issue with Penn State moving just to 7. I mean, people could say, oh, they didn't play as great as they could have. You still beat a ranked opponent by 2 touchdowns.
Yeah. That's all you need.
Yeah, so I'm okay with that.
Matumbo. What's up, Alyssa?
What's up, Alyssa? It is R.I.P. Matumbo and Pete Rose. Two legendary players in their sport gone.
Yep.
This is a sad day in sports. This is a really sad day. I'm not having a fun day. Like, I lose Dikembe Matumbo, I lose Pete Rose. Like, this is not a fun day, man. Sad day in sports.
It is.
In other news, do we have anything we'd like to add before we hit the road here?
I think that's about it. Covered a lot.
We did. 2 hours and 14 minutes worth.
Oh, yeah.
Alyssa does want to add she has a baseball signed by Pete Rose.
Oh,
Ooh.
nice.
I don't know if I have an autograph anything from Pete Rose. I honestly don't know if I do.
I'm saying
You
price
think somebody...
going up.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, not happening now, buddy. I have some good autographs, but I don't think I have Pete. I may have Pete Rose. I really don't know if I do. I honestly cannot. But we'll talk sports autograph another day. In other news, guys, we want to thank everybody for joining us on another fun-filled episode here at 609 Sports Talk. We had a blast talking with you guys all tonight. I want to thank everyone for commenting. Alyssa, Alex, Carol, Anthony, Georgie, Tony. You guys are always in the comments. Want to thank them. Nick coming in with all them fire comments early. We want to thank all of our lovely fans. And by the way, just a little moment here. Just want to thank out. Carol says thank you. Carol, thank you. You shouldn't be thanking us. We're thanking you. Because if it weren't for all of you great fans, from Carol to Alyssa to Nick, George, all of our great fans, we don't have the entertainment and shows that we have. Me and him can sit
I just have to listen to Sam all day. I don't want to do that.
Oh, thanks a lot. We don't have these shows without all our great fans. All you guys are commenting in, questions, fun comments to read, always saying how much you make the shows great. We don't have great shows without our great fans. And we just want to make sure that everybody knows that. Which, by the way, in case anyone didn't know, today marked a year ago that we did our last show in our studio. We have now since returned, and thanks to all of you great fans, we have a great fan base here at 609 Sports Talk. We're moving on to do bigger and better things, and we can't do it without all you great fans. So I just want to make sure that everyone sitting out there knows that every person that is on these shows with us every week, talking sports with us, we don't have this without you, and we appreciate every single one of you. We don't have this without you guys.
Preach.
This is not just a two-person podcast. 609 Sports Talk is a family. We are a family of people who love to talk sports, and all you guys are greatly appreciated. Just want to make sure everyone knows that.
Oh, yeah.
But that's going to wrap up tonight's show, everybody. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Thank you, everybody who commented in with us tonight, talking with us. We hope you guys enjoyed tonight's show. If you didn't get a chance to, go check out yesterday. 609 Sports Talk did an extra baseball show. George G from the Dueling Aces was lovely enough to come on with me and do some baseball postseason previews. So go check out that. It's on the Facebook page and on the YouTube channel. Also, guys, do us a favor. Go hit that like on Facebook. Go hit that subscribe on YouTube. 609 Sports Talk is over there, and it's at 609 Sports. So if you guys aren't subscribed to the YouTube, please go hit that subscribe button. We greatly appreciate it. Alyssa is giving us the little peace out symbols. Peace out, Alyssa. We hope you guys have a great night. Thank you all for your support every week. Have a great rest of your Monday, guys. We hope you enjoy it. We will see you guys next week. For all our Eagle fans, go Birds. For all our baseball fans, baseball postseason time. Red October is right around the corner. So thank you all for joining us. Have a safe rest of your night. For Tyler Adams, I'm Sam Nelson. Good night, everybody.